Welcome to Byblos.
Sitting in the foothills of the mountains just north of Beirut, you will find a city by the name of Byblos, also known as Jbeil, which is Lebanon's timeless gem. This city dates back to the era when the Phoenician alphabet was created, making it a place loaded with so much history and charm. From the majestic Crusader castle to the bustling souks, this coastal city is a melting pot of generations of Lebanese culture. All around Byblos, you will experience the aroma of traditional Lebanese cuisine as you wander through the quaint cobblestone streets. Byblos, where the ancient times meet modern living, offering a one-of-a-kind experience that you cannot find anywhere else in Lebanon.
Ahla wa sahla, my friends, and welcome to Jbeil, formerly known as Byblos. This place is literally one of my favorite cities in all of Lebanon, and I'll tell you for so many reasons. I'm standing on top of a ledge here, which you're actually not allowed to go, so don't follow me here. And we have actually the harbor all around us. So this is one of my favorite parts in Byblos here. We've got restaurants, we've got boats, we've got beautiful landscapes here, and we've got mountains stretching in the distance, and even the Byblos citadel. This city is a very unique one because it is one of the oldest continuously occupied cities in the world, my friends. And what that means is for so many generations, people have continuously lived in Byblos without the city ever, let's say, falling apart and nobody occupying the city. So it has so much history in this place, and you're gonna find that out in today's video. So one thing I wanna tell you guys is we have 15 things for you to do here. I personally consider them some of the best things to do in Byblos. And after exploring this place many times, I'm quite confident that you're going to love this list of things to do. So one thing I want to mention is this list is not in any order from best to worst. It's just simply how I decided to put them in the video. So stick around to the end so your trip in Byblos can be one of the best you'll ever remember. Number one on the list
is to shop in the old souks. Right in the heart of Byblos, you will find the best area, in my opinion, to experience, which is the old souks area. Inside the souks, you're going to find a ton of different things, which include restaurants, to clothing shops, shoe stores, souvenir shops, and so much more.
If you're looking for a date or if you're just looking to go out with your friends, it's also a great spot. Like this whole area has loud music going on pretty much every night of the week.
And Byblos is the oldest city in the world.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest cities. That's where the alphabet was created by the Phoenicians.
And look at this place is still thriving, guys. All of these restaurants right in the center here.
And even various museums that you can check out inside the old souks.
Up here, actually, it turns into a stage, and this place parties at night. Oh, we've got our man playing here. Shisha, and then he's got the instruments. Ahla wa sahla. Byblos. Number two on the list
is to walk around the fishing port in Byblos. Right in the fishing port is going to be one of the most iconic areas in Byblos, and the reason being is it's aligned with many different restaurants, traditional style boats, areas for pedestrians to walk around in the afternoon, morning, or evening, all offering a completely different experience, as well as even ancient remains that sit right in the front of the Byblos fishing port. Number three on the list is to visit the ancient Byblos citadel. The Byblos citadel is one of the staples of Byblos that attracts people from all over the country and all over the world.
And it's been around since basically the 12th century. I want to say a solid almost 900 something years already. And after 900 years, it still looks like this. That's pretty impressive if you ask me.
You can walk around the castle, explore the remains out in the area surrounding it, as well as climb up to the top of the tower.
We're going to get our exercise in today. Stairs are super cool. Looks like you got a couple stop off points too on the way up. It's a super tight little cave here. Walking through. All right, and we have now officially made it to the highest point. This is where you'll get the best views of Byblos. You can see pretty much everything in the city from here. We're going to pause the video for just one moment to share with you guys something so special to me, which is a Lebanon ebook. This Lebanon ebook covers everything that you need to know if you're coming to Lebanon. My good friend Fouad and I, we actually spent so much time exploring Lebanon over the last 2 years. And after that, we decided, let's write a book for all the other tourists that are going to be coming to Lebanon.
This ebook talks about the itinerary that guides you where to go around Lebanon, how to have the perfect trip, street food, hidden gems, historical places, touristic places, villages, and cities about Lebanon. It also mentions about all the questions that you ask yourself. Is Lebanon a safe country? What am I supposed to do in terms of currency in Lebanon? What am I supposed to do in transportation around Lebanon? I can guarantee you guys that this ebook will give you all the answers to your questions about Lebanon. And trust me guys, Lebanon is safe and amazing and it's waiting for you.
Number 4 on the list is
to spend the day at the Byblos Public Beach. The Byblos Public Beach is one of my favorite beaches in Lebanon because it offers a bunch of different activities in the area. But of course, the best thing you can do there is bring your towel, bring a chair, bring some El Maza beers, and sit right down there and enjoy a nice day laying out in the sun. The water here is crystal clear, so you can see the bottom, but I will say there are 2 times to watch out for this area. Certain times of the year it is jellyfish season in Lebanon, so there's a lot of jellyfish swimming in that area, so you might want to turn around behind the beach and go to one of the public pools there. And also people should watch out that sometimes there are currents there. It is the ocean, and so just look for any signage on days when you shouldn't swim in that area. But aside from that, it is one of my favorite beaches to spend the day with some friends, relax, and go for a nice dip in the ocean.
number 5 on the list is
To rent a jet ski right in the Byblos Public Beach area. So talking about the beach and the last thing to do, there are many activities you can do on the water when you're in Byblos. We're going to share some more with you later in this video, but for right now we are talking about renting a jet ski. So right there on the beach you can rent a jet ski, whether it's for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, however long you think you can last, and go ripping across the waves. This attracts people from all over Lebanon and of course tourists from all over the world because nothing is like ripping across ocean waves on a jet ski full speed ahead. And so you can find rentals at pretty much all of the popular beaches in Lebanon. So if you don't get a chance to do it at Byblos, you'll be able to do it whether you're in Juni or maybe in Patron also. But it's a lot of fun for those people that want to get a little adrenaline going and don't just want to lay around by the beach.
number 6 on the list
Is to learn how to drift with the Middle East's Drift King. That's right guys, Oliver Keek, a good friend of mine, had invited me in summer 2022 to go for my first ever drifting lesson. And he has an academy that sits right in Amshit, which is just about 2 minutes away from Byblos. And here he's got an area where he teaches you, even if you have no experience, how to drift a car. One thing is that you need to know how to drive a manual transmission car, and if you can, you'll hop right up inside of a Nissan 350Z, do a couple lessons with him, and you'll be drifting in no time.
Okay, we're gonna start by driving normally. Okay, so you get used to the clutch. Keep looking at the pedal. Keep it slow. 1, 2, go. Consistent throttle. Go. More throttle. More. Yeah, let's go, baby. Keep going.
it gets dizzy after a bit, right?
Yeah. If you don't look at the barrel, you'll get dizzy.
They're gonna be chasing each other. Whoa. Wow.
We did some go-kart rides as well.
Oh yeah. They actually invented these. They built these drift carts, so it's gonna be incredible.
And he even has a virtual drift car.
Throttle, the brake, and it's real. It's like a real car.
Yeah.
Instead of the engine, there's a gaming PC. That's the power supply.
Power supply, yeah.
VGA.
That he built with his team, where you can actually like race virtually in this video game, but you're inside of a real car, so it kind of mimics the feeling.
It's about $50 for a 30-minute
session on fully everything included on a Nissan 350Z.
Yeah,
and there's stuff that are cheaper. The drift kart is cheaper, the simulator is cheaper.
Number 7 on the list is to visit the Vero Museum. Right inside the heart of Byblos, you're going to be able to find a one-of-a-kind museum with many controversial figures that you may recognize from all over the world, both figures in Lebanon as well as the United States, North Korea, and so many more. Here you're going to see a unique display of art that is unique to the Vero Museum.
I literally thought that was a real person. I was like, alright, that must be your boss.
What is it made of? It is made of plastic or?
Silicone. The hair, this is real hair.
It's real, yeah?
It's imported from India and it's implanted hair by hair.
That is. That is crazy.
Isn't that crazy, bro? Freaky cool because everyone seems so real. Like when you saw at the beginning, like we walked around the corner, we're like, whoa, there's a person.
This is wax.
Oh, that's a wax
Yeah,
one,
so
yeah?
the silicone, they look a lot more realistic compared to
Exactly.
the wax.
So here we're showing the comparison between wax and
Oh,
silica.
yeah. And what do they pay to get in? Or it
We
changes because the rates?
$2.50.
It's definitely a must-visit place. You can check out the whole place within like 30 minutes or less.
And you can feel it, and yeah, it's an experience for sure. Number 8 on the list
Is to go for a swim at the Eddy Sands pools. Eddy Sands is actually a hotel with pools and it sits right on the beach. But if you're looking to just come for a day and go swimming, you can actually get a day pass, go swim all day, use the facilities, get some food there, lounge on the beach side as well as the pool area and relax, or you can stay there overnight. There's a couple different hotel options, but overall it's a huge facility with so much to offer. I've gone here a ton of times last summer and I'll definitely be going back again this year.
Fouad's going to share with you a little bit more of the in-person tourism guide services that he can offer you when you're coming to Lebanon.
You want to save some time, not worry about the itinerary? You want a local to show you around? I'm here, guys. I provide tourism for you in Lebanon. I would take you to the hidden gem places, and actually, you would be a local with me in Lebanon.
Number 9 on the list
Is to go for a sunset boat ride. Here in the Byblos area, you can actually rent a boat, which is a bit different from the boat that you can rent over in Juni if you saw my other video. If you did not, definitely check out that video on things to do in Juni. But here in Byblos, you can rent a more traditional style boat, which you'll want to grab a ton of friends, hop up on there and make sure it's timed right at sunset. Bring a couple drinks, specifically some El Mazas and some gin and basils, which is a Lebanese favorite, and enjoy some Lebanese music and some top 40s music as you sit right along the coast looking at the historic city of Byblos while enjoying being out on the water.
Number 10 on the list
Is to go for a sunset dinner on the coast in Byblos. Byblos is an incredibly beautiful coastal town, as you've probably figured out up until this point in this video. And so there are so many options for beachside restaurants that you can go right at golden hour. Bring a special someone, go with your family or friends, and you will have such a nice time. There are many different types of vibes that you can experience in Byblos, from romantic settings to party to chill, relaxing areas. You'll be able to find restaurants for everybody's taste.
Number 11 on the list is
To party in the souks at night. One of my first experiences when I came to Byblos in 2021 was when I was laying in my hotel bed and I could hear some distant noises, and so I made my way over to the Byblos souks, and I was pleasantly surprised to find how lively the souks are during the summertime and the spring and fall months as well. So a bunch of bars and restaurants inside the souks all join together, set up DJs, sometimes live performances, and it fills up with people, tables, drinks, food, and so much more, and people party late into the night. So it's truly a great taste of the Byblos nightlife scene. It's not as crazy as places like Beirut or Patron in terms of nightlife, but for a nice, relaxing, and pretty wild night still, you can have a great time in Byblos.
Number 12 on the list is
To stop by Finiya Lebanese food. Here is one of the staples of Byblos, and it's positioned just around the souks. So after you do a little bit of shopping, you can stop by and have some traditional Lebanese food. You'll be pleasantly surprised to find how unique this place is.
They even have these sliders right here, guys, so you'll see when the food comes, they just slide that tray in right there.
Specifically how they serve the food, and it's actually from a hanging pulley type of fixture, and the plates that are hanging from it pretty much just like spin around to anyone on the table. So it's a one-of-a-kind place. I haven't experienced this anywhere else yet in Lebanon, and so you'll definitely want to come here if you want your taste buds to be having the time of their lives while also experiencing something that's a bit different from your typical Lebanese restaurant. Number 13 on the list is to visit Kina Sunset Bar, and this place is only open during the summer months, plus or minus, let's say 1 or 2 months spilling over into the shoulder season. But this place will give you the Bali-like vibes right on the coast of Byblos, just outside of the souks, and they offer some really delicious drinks here. They serve them in some like cool cups and glasses that you're not going to find all over Lebanon. So this is the place you want to come for the afternoon, evening time frame. I believe they open up maybe around 6 or 7, and this year in 2023 they're also opening up a restaurant right next to it to basically increase their menu.
Number 14 on the list
is to have a coffee at Haven the Cabin. This is one of my favorite places in Byblos to enjoy a delicious cup of coffee, sometimes a nice meal if I'm there at lunch or evening time, and bring some friends up there to meet. And interestingly enough, it is actually the place where I met my fiance for the first time ever, at Haven the Cabin. Aside from some of those nice memories back in 2021, I will say that this place offers a one-of-a-kind coffee experience because it actually sits up in the mountains where you're looking all over the city of Byblos and some of the surrounding villages, as well as the beautiful Mediterranean Sea. They've got a good selection for coffees, hot, cold, and even some smoothies if you're interested in that, as well as some delicious cookies, muffins, and other delicious pastry items.
And last but not least, guys, number 15 on the list of things to do here in Byblos
is to visit Greco for some high-end seafood. Here at Greco, this is probably the best seafood restaurant in Lebanon, and the only reason why I say probably is because I haven't tried every single restaurant yet in Lebanon, but from the ones that I have tried, which is probably over 100 restaurants, this has been the best seafood. Now, sometimes it can be hard to decide if it was the food that tasted that good or if it was the views that Greco offers. Here, it sits in front of one of Lebanon's most modern villages, and let me tell you, when you see some of these clips, you will see exactly what I mean. And the experience when you're sitting down at the table is one of a kind, as you have the waves crashing, tables spaced apart just enough so you have your own private feeling, as well as the smell of delicious seafood constantly coming out right in front of you. Now, personally, I'm not even a massive seafood fan, and I can tell you this was one of the greatest seafood meals I've had. It was delish. And the last thing I should mention about visiting Greco is how they get you down to the restaurant. So after the valet parking takes your car at the top of the hill, they put you inside of a golf cart and you speed right down the side of the hill at sunset, and it is truly a one-of-a-kind view, and they drop you at the top of the restaurant. You walk right into this serene view of the one-of-a-kind Byblos unique restaurant. Greco, I'll be back.
So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. It was so many things to do here in Byblos, and one thing I can tell you is that just gives you a small taste of what you're gonna be able to find in the beautiful and historic city of Byblos, Jbeil. So let me tell you this, I have a few more things down in the link in the description below, which you'll be able to find out even more things. And so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing time in Lebanon, and we'll see you in the next one.